Hello, welcome to another session of App Store Optimization with Incipia. Today's topic is the user retention reports in the iTunes Connect dashboard. We're going to be looking at Goalie, one of our internal company apps, a to-do list task manager planner. And one thing I want to point out is this opt-in only data. So all this data in this retention report will only show from devices who have agreed to share their data with Apple. And Apple will tell you here, if you hover over opt-in only, what percentage of your overall users that is. In this case, we're looking at data on only 31% of our installed devices. So the first report up here shows us 30 days ago, and you can change the date that you're looking at. 30 days ago, or a little over 30 days ago, on August 19th, the 5 devices that we acquired, what did their retention look like over time? So over the 30 days after August 19th, we can see what percentage of those 5 devices are coming back and using Goalie again over time. This gives us a sense of our lifetime engagement over a 30-day period, our 30-day engagement for any users who have used our app. So you want to make sure that this is staying as high as possible over the long term. If it goes down to 0, then what it's telling you is that users are not coming back and using your app over time, and you may want to add some features or provide some content that they can unlock, gamify your app, use push campaigns or something in order to bring people back into your app more over time. Day 1 retention is showing us for each of the last 30 days, what did our retention rate look like one day after the user installed the app. So on September 4th, we're showing that of all the devices that installed it one day prior, or on the 4th, 100% of them came back and used it one day after. So you want to make sure that your one-day retentions or written-day retention numbers are as high as possible, but also know that it doesn't show you the long-term story of what did these users do 2 days later, 4 days later, 5 days later. So this is short-term retention, this is long-term retention, and this report down here will show you a combination of both of them. So this is a cohort analysis, and it shows you on each one of these dates of all the users that installed our app Goalie on each one of these days, what was their retention, what did it look like over time, over the 30 days after that. So the 9 devices that we have data on that we acquired on the 27th of August, one day after, how many were using it? 2 days after, 3 days after, and so on. And we can see here that what looks like one of these users, or 2 of these users were using it up to 2 days later, and then one user continued using it pretty regularly, consistently after that. And we can see that we only have 1 day's worth of data from the September 17th, 2 days from September 16th. And if we go back, the only day in this report that we have all the data on is August 21st. And so that's the sort of definition of a cohort report. It shows you number of days after a user was acquired, what does their behavior, their performance look like. This is very useful for understanding how your marketing and your retention campaigns are performing. So let's say that we ran a marketing campaign on this date and most of these users were acquired from a Facebook campaign, say. We can compare the retention rate for those users on that day with the average retention rate. And if our retention rate is better than the average, then we can say, okay, the users that were acquired from this Facebook campaign are quality users. They're spending more time on average in the app than our users usually do. If we ran a campaign on the 1st of September and we had 0% retention over time, then we know that our money is not being spent wisely because these users that we acquired on that date from our Facebook campaign are not using our app. They just installed it and possibly uninstalled it or just didn't return. You can also use this to analyze the performance of your retention campaign, such as a push campaign. If you started running a push campaign on, let's say we started running a push campaign on September 7th, then we can look at the 1 day, 2 day, and so on retention from users from this date forward. So if we started the campaign on September 7th and we see an increase in the 1-day retention and the 2-day retention and so on, as it looks like we do, then we can say that our push campaign was successful in bringing people back into the app to use it again. Before, we only saw, on average, a 26% 1-day retention. But after, it looks like we have 40%, 50%. There's a small data set here, but 100%, 33%. And so you can use this report again to analyze your acquisition or marketing performance, as well as your retention campaign performance as well. Subscribe to our YouTube channel for more videos on apps optimization and marketing tips, and follow us along on social. We're pretty active on Twitter, as well as our blog. We publish 5 blog posts per week, tips and tricks, news updates, and interviews with industry thought leaders. And also, if you have a topic that you'd like to learn more about in the realm of app marketing, send an email to hello@incipia.co, incipia.co, and we'll do a video or a post explaining your topic. Thanks for watching.